Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Happen, Grindr, Blender. They're the new words in romance which are being blamed for killing off old-fashioned dating.
We don't have any on our phones, for the record, husbands and wives. They're the names of dating apps that come with instant gratification from an admirer, but also instant rejection, a mix that's creating a fairly toxic online minefield rather than letting love blossom naturally.
So is the old way the right way, or should we just move with the times? Joining us is Jodie Bache-McLean, the Managing Director of June Daly Watkins, who's raised the issue, and eHarmony psychologist Sharon Draper. Welcome to you both. Jodie, we'll start with you if we can. You say things have become too complicated and clinical in the online dating world for both men and women. What's the advice you give on the first date etiquette?
First date etiquette. Well, I think the most important thing is to be interested and interesting. Don't just sit there and ask a lot of questions and treat it like a job interview. I think the other thing that's really important is that you arrive on time, that you are pleasant, that you don't have a few, if it's meeting for a drink, that you don't have too many drinks for Dutch courage before they arrive, because you're not going to be your authentic self. I'd also recommend perhaps the first date, think about a coffee date rather than a dinner, because we open up a minefield when it comes into what if I don't really like them, even though we've had conversations on the telephone or via text. Hopefully they've had conversations on the telephone before the first date. I think those sort of things. Remember your good manners. Want to make a great impression. Treat it as an opportunity to put your best self forward.
Okay.
Maybe have an exit strategy. Have a friend call at the right time. Sharon, the general consensus seems to be that people are getting physical much earlier on thanks to online dating. So a lot of those nice sort of rules of romance in years gone past have sort of gone out the window a little bit.
Yeah, we live in a climate now where we're quite impulsive and we want things now to happen. So I think a lot of people, it's just so easy to find so many different kinds of people, and people are being a lot more physical a lot sooner than actually, like, you know, putting some time into actually meeting somebody in an authentic way.
Does that depend on the app you use, though?
Yes, so I think there are those apps that are just very quick to kind of swipe, you know, and all you're basing that swipe is on very limited information. So you've got other apps which are just to have more depth and just carry more sort of values that match you to the partner's values as well, and that's more long-lasting. And it's a more sustainable type of relationship.
But Jodie, the etiquette that you talked about at the start, they're old-fashioned values, if you like, and old-fashioned doesn't have to mean they're bad, but times have changed. Do you think, therefore, that expectations on a first date, maybe they should change as well?
No, I think you have your own standards and they should never change. It's who you are. That's being authentic. If you know, if we're talking about, we put it on the table about sleeping together on the first date, we are adults, we're making adult decisions, and that's your decision. It shouldn't be under pressure. It should be something that you choose to do. I have sons, I don't have daughters, but if my daughter asked me what I thought, I would encourage her to make the decision based on her values, not the values of the other person.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And they're important rules for men as well, we should add as well. Sharon, eHarmony has released some research on Aussies using the words I love you. It's actually fascinating research. 1 in 10 will say it in the first week of a relationship. Most of us use it sparingly. Very different results in the UK, which is interesting. Take us through some of that research.
Yeah, so with regards to Australians, they'll say it within the first 3 months, while the Brits are they take a little bit longer. So they tend to wait about another 6 months before they actually say I love you. And then when they eventually do say I love you, Aussies tend to say it 8 times a week, while the Brits tend to say it about 10 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprised by that.
Yeah.
Or in my case, you could say it within the first month and then he waits another, say, 3 months to say it back. Yeah, it happened.
Yep.
But everything's worked out okay.
I sunk my claws in, didn't let go. Sharon, thank you so much. Jodie, thank you so much for
My
your
pleasure.
advice as well.